Peter I, known to history as Peter the Great, stands as one of the most transformative rulers in world history. His reign marked a dramatic transformation of Russia from a largely isolated medieval state into a major European power. Through relentless modernization, bold reforms, and unwavering determination, Peter reshaped Russia's military, government, culture, and international standing, leaving a legacy that continues to influence the nation centuries later. Born on June 9, 1672, in Moscow, Peter was the 14th child of Tsar Alexis I and his second wife, Natalia Naryshkina. His early years were marked by political turbulence. After Alexis' death in 1676, the throne passed to Peter's elder half-brother Fyodor I. When Fyodor died childless in 1682, a power struggle erupted between the Miloslavsky and Naryshkina factions. The result was a dual reign. Ivan V. Peter's mentally fragile elder brother and Peter I, with their ambitious sister Sophia acting as regent. For 7 years, Sophia held real power, while Peter spent his youth in the village of Preobrazhenskoye, where he developed his lifelong passions: shipbuilding, military drills, and European culture. Peter's formal ascension to full power came in 1689 when he overthrew Sophia's regency, exiling her to a convent, though Ivan V remained nominal ruler until his death in 1696. Peter became the de facto sovereign. His early reign was defined by a single overarching goal: to modernize Russia and secure its place among Europe's great powers. He recognized that Russia's isolation and outdated institutions left it vulnerable to more advanced European states. The Great Embassy of 16,971,698 marked Peter's first major step toward this vision. Under the pseudonym Peter Mikhailov, he traveled incognito through Western Europe, working as a shipwright in Dutch and English shipyards. This journey exposed him to advanced European shipbuilding techniques, modern military organization, scientific and technological innovations, urban planning and architecture, European court customs and etiquette. Upon his return, Peter launched sweeping reforms that would reshape Russia. Military reforms. He created a professional standing army based on European models, established military academies, and introduced conscription. Naval development. He founded Russia's first navy, beginning with the construction of ships on the River Don and later establishing the Baltic Fleet. Administrative changes. He replaced medieval boyar councils with a modern bureaucracy, creating the Senate and collegiate government departments. Economic modernization. He encouraged manufacturing, mining, and trade, establishing factories and promoting exports. Cultural transformation. He mandated Western dress, cut long beards imposing a tax on those who kept them, and promoted European customs. Central to Peter's ambitions was securing warm water ports for Russia. This goal drove his two major wars: the Great Northern War 1700-17 against Sweden, which culminated in Russia's decisive victory at Poltava 1709. This triumph broke Swedish dominance in the Baltic and gave Russia access to the Baltic Sea. The Azov campaigns 16,951,696 against the Ottoman Empire, which secured Russia's position on the Sea of Azov, though later conflicts forced temporary retreats. These military successes allowed Peter to realize his most ambitious project, the founding of St. Petersburg in 1703. Built on swampy land at the mouth of the Neva River, the city became Russia's new capital in 1712, a window to Europe that embodied Peter's modernizing vision. Its construction, though achieved at immense human cost, established a new cultural and political center for the empire. Peter's reforms extended into every aspect of Russian life. Education. He established schools for mathematics, navigation, and engineering, sending young Russians abroad for training. Religion. In 1721, he abolished the Patriarchate and replaced it with the Holy Synod, bringing the Orthodox Church under state control. Law and governance. He introduced the Table of Ranks 1722, which systematized civil and military service, allowing nobles to rise through merit. Infrastructure. He oversaw the construction of roads, canals, and fortifications, including the Ladoga Canal, vital for connecting Petersburg with Russia's interior. Science and culture. He founded the Academy of Sciences 1724, bringing European scholars to Russia and promoting research. Despite these achievements, Peter's reign was marked by harsh methods. His reforms often came at great human cost. Massive conscription and forced labor for military and construction projects. Severe punishments for dissent or failure to comply with reforms. The brutal suppression of rebellions, including the Streltsy Uprising of 1698. High taxes that burdened the peasantry. His personal life reflected the same intensity and contradiction. His marriage to Eudoxia Lapukina ended in her forced retirement to a convent, while his relationship with Catherine I, later his second wife and empress, demonstrated his preference for loyal companionship. His only surviving son, Alexei, opposed his reforms and died under mysterious circumstances after a trial for treason in 1718. In his later years, Peter continued expanding Russia's influence. The Caspian Expedition 17-217-3 secured Russian positions on the Caspian Sea. Diplomatic efforts strengthened Russia's alliances with European powers. Economic policies promoted mining in the Urals and manufacturing in central Russia. Peter the Great died on February 8, 1725, at the age of 52, likely from complications of a urinary tract infection. His final years were marred by declining health and the realization that many of his reforms remained incomplete. Yet his legacy was already profound. Russia had become a major European power with a modern army and navy. St. Petersburg stood as a symbol of Russia's Western orientation. The bureaucracy and military institutions he created endured for centuries. Russian culture had been irrevocably changed, blending traditional elements with European influences. Today, Peter's impact remains visible. St. Petersburg remains one of Russia's most important cultural and economic centers. His military reforms laid the foundation for Russia's imperial army. The Academy of Sciences evolved into the Russian Academy of Sciences, a leading research institution. His administrative systems influenced Russian governance until the 1917 revolution. Monuments to Peter, like the iconic bronze horseman in St. Petersburg, commemorate his transformative rule. Peter's character embodied both vision and severity. A brilliant strategist and diplomat who understood power politics. An insatiable learner who mastered shipbuilding, artillery, and multiple trades. A ruthless ruler who demanded absolute obedience. A cultural reformer who forced Russia into modernity. A workaholic who often labored alongside commoners. His reign teaches us that transformative leadership requires clear vision and long-term planning, willingness to challenge tradition, investment in education and technology, strategic use of military power, personal commitment to the cause. Though controversial, Peter the Great's legacy is undeniable. He dragged Russia into the modern era, reshaped its institutions, and secured its place on the world stage. His story remains a powerful example of how one leader's determination can redefine a nation's destiny, for better or worse. As Russia continues to navigate its complex relationship with the West, Peter's vision of a strong, modern Russia endures as both inspiration and cautionary tale.